Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to the Monogatari series. It is Koyomimonogatari, and I will discuss about why I chose that one in the video itself. So just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, and replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, and enjoy. I will see you over there. For those that have came back from this video, however, welcome back. Now, nice one, I like it. And a good little video. Short one, which makes it easier for me to fit in, which is always a good thing. So, let's see. I'm not completely sure about the beginning of this story. So, first things first, the intro. I'm pretty sure it is an intro of an older season, and I'm very sorry I cannot put it exactly which one it is. But seeing that we have Shinobu still lying around here, it's very likely something like Bakemonogatari, just by the time frame for sure. But I'm not sure if it is the intro of Bakemonogatari. So because the intro with Hanekawa and her guitar and the cats and everything is later on. So I guess it is her season, her story arc. Well. However, multiple things I've realized. So the first episode, and it starts off with 4th month and then it skips. So what? I'm not sure. 4th month of what? 4th month of Oshino being there, 4th month of the whole storyline. Not really clear. 4th month of Shinobu being like that, as example. And you can see that sometimes she's sitting up, sometimes she has fallen over. I liked the general idea, however, of the of this short episode. So they talk about that something which is unimportant can become important to people because they think it is more. And reflecting that on Shinobu over here, it is the other way around. Something important like Shinobu, who's a very powerful vampire, and a major key in this story in general, becomes inadequate and unimportant because Aragi does not see her as what she is, and thus lessens her state. We discussed about this in the story arcs, but they at least partially point out for that. So that's interesting. And the danger, which is clear, that you can create things without knowing by doing random stuff. By just having something you created used in an alternate version and people think it to be something else. I will discuss that a little bit later. Hanekawa, however, wants to say thank you to Oshino Meme, which is nice to see again, by the way. I really like to have him at least once back in the show. I really missed him. And so she tries gathering stories. Thus she knows he gathers stories of the city, whatever kind of abnormal things. So she points out the 7 wonders of the school. Thus we have seen one now, and we know it's Aragi's fault. I really have to question if all of them are made by Aragi in one way or another. So there's a stone statue in a shrine, more stone. And it's not really clear what for, but it was built within the last 2 years. So there's this very clever sentence of Oshino Meme here, who states that either it is worshipped because it's an oddity, or it becomes an oddity because it is worshipped. That makes sense. So if you have very old religions, there is the belief in many. There's not really like a proof for that, I guess, but there's a belief in many that something odd, an oddity, an extremely large tree, as example, or a strange shaped cone of stone, might become a point for believers to worship. You could, as example, say the blanket. There is. Oh, I'm not sure what it was named. there's when it's about Christian belief, there's this blanket where people believe it was used to bury Jesus of Nazareth with, I think, and there's like a shadow on it, and people tend to see things in this dots of whatever it is, maybe blood, maybe just some rubble, you know. They see stuff. Other people tend to see Maria, the mother of Jesus, in some stone formations. People see whatever, you know, the finger of God in a pillar, and so on and so forth. So, if there are oddities in the world, there is an option that people tend to create a religion around it, or at least worship it in some kind of way. And worship does not automatically have to mean that you worship it as a god, but it could be like a center for tourist attraction, which is kind of a worshipping as well, you know? So that's one side. The other side around, however, is the moment something is worshipped, it becomes an oddity because it is not a common thing. So I agree with Oshinomeme here. And Aragi accidentally created a place of worshipping. I, as always, have to question his memories because he did not remember that, even when it was pointed out to him, and it was 2 years ago. So it's not long ago. That's a bit weird, but let's just say we talked about the memory options of Aragi quite a lot already. Oshino Ugi realizes it, which is interesting to me. I mean, that means he possibly, well, either he thought it is someone else's art thing, someone else created it, or he really was aware that it was Aragi. But how? I really have to ask why Aragi has this strange hat on, because that's something that I do not understand, but maybe it was the time to wear stuff like that. And Hanekawa got the clue, more neither instantly. I mean, we know that she's clever, so it's good. I mean, it's more neither what I wanted to talk about, except for 2 more things. So, in the end, he realizes it's not even a stone, it's concrete. While clicking through this episode, searching for a good place, a good moment to take as a background picture, I chose that one here. If you look carefully and closely, you might realize why I took that one. It's not as though I've remembered anything concrete, which is just a coincidence of the English language, but it made me smile, because it is concrete that he does not remember. So that is, I'm pretty sure, I guess it is not the same playing of words in the Japanese version, in the original, but for the English one, that is a funny one. If you know that in the end it is concrete and not a stone, and you rewatch the episode, and I hope some of you at least catched that joke while watching again. That was a really nice one. I had to grin. So, last but not least, talking about things appearing different than they are. So he made a piece of concrete look like a stone, look like a stone statue, look like something to worship, by just putting this shrine, the shed that he created around it, which gives us the information that he did arts class. So interesting. So you can make things look differently, and they will be perceived differently. That ties into the storyline a little bit about Shinobu for sure, that she's perceived differently than she is. It ties in to a lot of other things and storylines as well. I mean, we have multiple characters who appear in a specific way due to what they look like. Just saying Gaena's example, who dresses and feels like a younger person by the way she looks like than she is. Or just taking from the last episode I reacted before, the samurai armor, the first servant who appears the one time in a huge samurai armor and the other time as a youngster jumping you. There's a total difference in how I perceive these persons and what I feel about them. If a huge samurai armor stands in front of me, I am, well, possibly frightened, or at least I'm like, better watch out what I do. You don't know, I mean, he could smack you. So the way we look, the way we dress, the way we appear, and the way things we have appear makes a difference. All of us know if we go to a talk for to an interview for a new job, we tend to go a bit overdressed, possibly, at least better dressed than normally. We don't go in like, I don't know, khaki shorts and a flower jacket or stuff like that, unless you want to be kind of an entertainer in a pool thing. So there we want to look more professional than we normally do. On the other hand, just as example, me right now, I'm not sitting here in overdressed manner because that would feel weird to me, you know. So I have my stuff on that I like because I want to represent myself. That's one thing. You can see that when you are at a company that the higher leveled, the higher tier people tend to dress more in specific kind of garments because it is needed in their opinion, but they want to perceived as being the boss, you know. And then you have those relaxed versions of them, that come to work in a khaki short, if you know what I mean, which very often are those people you would like to work for, right? So the outer appearance and what stuff looks like can make a huge difference, and we've seen that again. Aragi created a religion. I just asked myself, who put the sweets there? So who was about to worship that? Just asking. Okay, that's it for this time. I thank you a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. And until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye, and out.